Today, we're going to build Dengar's Punishing One using 14 Lego pieces.
These are all the pieces you are going to need. In the description of this video, I left the piece names, count, and design IDs.
I'm going to start with this 1x2 by 2/3 brick with studs on both sides. And if this is our ship, the front stud here will be the front of our ship, and then this big ugly stud in the back will be the back of the ship. I don't know what that's called. I should probably figure out what it's called instead of the big back ugly stud. But anyway, what I'm going to do is on the side of these brick, we've got these two studs. Well, on those two studs, I'm going to get one 1x2 plate piece and just put that right there on the side to kind of extend it out. The next thing I'm going to do is get this 4x1 curved slope piece and put it right there on top of the 1x2 plate piece I just put in. And the reason I'm doing this is it not only creates the side wing of Dengar's ship Punishing One, but it also hides that kind of back ugly stud that I don't know the name of. Okay, so now we've got the top studs. On those two top studs, I'm going to grab a 1x2 tile piece in red. And this kind of gives us the highlights of Dengar's ship. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the front of this tile piece onto the back stud so that it goes on that back stud and over and kind of hides that big ugly back stud piece, and it looks more like the rear end of Dengar's ship. Now on the front stud, I'm going to grab a, let's see if I can find it, a 1x1 plate piece with tooth. And I'm going to put it so that tooth is on that front stud and facing forward. Now, the reason I'm doing that is this kind of gives it more of a cylindrical look for the front of Dengar's ship as opposed to like a square Lego piece. And so once I have that done, I only have these two side studs left. On those two side studs, I'm going to grab a 1x3 tile piece. I'm going to put this 1x3 tile piece on those two studs and going back over that back end piece. So now you kind of see how we've completely hidden kind of that uglier part of this larger brick to create the body of Dengar's ship. Now this is kind of the smoother right wing, but on the left the wing goes out and around, it leaves this big gap here and it goes a little bit past the rear of the ship. Well, to do that, I'm going to get one of these 1x2x3 arch pieces, and what I'm going to do is on this bottom part here, I'm going to put two 1x1 plate pieces. Now the reason I'm doing two 1x1 plate pieces instead of a brick is I want it to go a little past the end, but not completely. And so I find just being a little shy of a full brick length was a good length for my wing. Now once I've got those two 1x2 plates in, I'm going to grab a 1x1 brick with one stud on the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that side stud facing up. So my wing's looking like this. And now the reason I want that top stud is because Dengar is a bounty hunter. He needs weapons on his ship. So to create the cannon on his ship, I'm going to grab one of these 1x1 round plate pieces with 1L bar and just snap it onto that stud that's now facing up. And I've kind of got Dengar's wing to the Punishing One. And now I'm just going to take this part up here and click it onto my front stud of that 1x2 by 2/3 brick like this. You kind of see how nice that wing is. It curves out, it doesn't touch, and it goes just a little bit past the rear of his ship. Now what I need to do is build the front cone. And to do the front cone, all I'm going to do is get a 1x1 translucent black cone piece for the cockpit. Now, Dengar's cockpit isn't glass all the way in the front, but in micro scale, I want to give a little bit of a cockpit look, so I use that cone. You could probably still use like a light bluish gray if you wanted, but I wanted some kind of like transparent piece for the cockpit of the Punishing One. And now, in the back, the last thing we have to do is, there's like this rear tail fin with like 3 little slots. Well, to create that, I'm going to grab one 1x1 round plate with hole, very important, have that hole in it, and put it into that back end of our big ugly back stud like this. And now the reason you want a hole in it is because I'm going to grab this claw piece and I'm going to put the claw piece just so this is where the minifigure, that little bar is where the minifigure would hold on to it. I'm going to put that bar piece into that 1x1 round plate with hole, stick it in there, have it sticking up the back to create the back tail of Dengar's ship. But here is a completed Punishing One, ready for you to help Dengar hunt down any bounties across the Star Wars universe.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe or check out some of our other videos. Until next time, let's keep building together.